Hi Amanda, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Have you had a good week so far?
It's been busy.
Busy? Okay, yeah, no, it's been great. Just getting started with classes.
Excellent.
But I'm so grateful for your time today. I know I shared a little bit about this in my email to you, but I am working on pursuing a career in human resources and looking at Land of Lakes as a company that I'm really interested in. I've also learned that I really, really like process improvement and saw that you were in supply chain, so I thought it would be great to speak to you about your experience and about Land of Lakes as a company.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you have any specific questions about the company or process improvement? Which way would you like to go?
Well, I would love if you could share a little bit more about yourself and your background and your internship this summer at Land of Lakes, and I'll ask a couple questions as we go.
Okay, sounds good. So, military background, hard applied science background, academically speaking, and then worked for a tech consulting firm for a year, and then ended up at the MBA program up in Minnesota, where you obviously are. When I was looking at companies, I looked kind of across the board, everything from government contractors to healthcare and med device and CPGs like Land Lakes. My internship this summer was with supply chain, specifically on the logistics side. And the company was great. It was everything that I was looking for in a company, because for me, culture is a really big thing at this point. So what specifics would you like to know?
So why did you choose Land of Lakes over all those other companies? I know you said the culture was important, but what were the really specific reasons you chose it?
I found through the process of my whole first year that I am still very mission driven, and I need a company that is as well. So I need someone that doesn't just care about their bottom line. I found that with Land of Lakes. They're farmer owned, they're a co-op, and they have multiple branches of their company, which I initially didn't realize were all part of Land of Lakes. They make more than just butter, in case you weren't aware. So I found that really fascinating. They're in the Twin Cities metro area, which is very helpful because I, as of 2 weeks into the school year, decided we're not moving. So somewhere where I don't have to move my kids is helpful. The culture is flexible, which is what I need. I want to be able to go to my kids' hockey games and their sporting events and Cub Scouts and go camping. So I needed something that would let me be able to do that. And based on this last winter, when the whole first 2 weeks of our school, I wasn't in class because my kids were, canceled from school from snow and 60 below and whatnot. Something where I could be home with my kids and not, and still be able to work and not have to take, valuable time off to be able to do that. It was important to me, and I was able to find that.
Great. So after having interned there for 3 months, I know you listed a lot of reasons that you were excited to join, but do you feel like you had a good experience? Can you tell me a little bit about it and if some of those decisions played out?
Yes, it was a good experience. It was good to be able to validate that Land of Lakes is a good fit for me. That's part of what I was going to the internship process with, was the goal of, is the company a good fit for me, yes or no? Also, is supply chain actually, in reality, a good fit for me, yes or no, because I'm a career switcher. So theoretically, supply chain sounded great, but wasn't sure until I actually tried it. So it was really good to be able to validate that fit. And other big things that came out of it. It really validated that what they sell in the interview process and in the informational process leading up to the internship is actually really what it is. So it's nice not to be sideswiped by something random where all of a sudden it's just kidding, our culture isn't what we've been saying it's been for the last year. That was really nice to actually be able to live it and see it and do it every day.
That's great. So what was your one favorite piece of your entire internship, if you had to name one thing?
One thing. I love working with my clients, and I found that I really like project work, which I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I do. I'm normally more of a day-to-day operations person, so finding that I really like project work and working with my clients was a good bonus.
What is one thing that surprised you this summer?
They actually really would let me work from home as an intern when I needed to.
It's pretty awesome.
It's fabulous.
Okay, great. One other question, I'm just curious about what your actual project looked like.
I did network redesign for Winfield United, so transitioning from all of the redundancies in the network that they currently have after a merger that they recently went through to getting rid of that, making it cleaner, making it more efficient, and figuring out how to do that region by region throughout the U.S.
Great. And I know that Beth Ford was recently named the CEO of your organization. Super excited about that. Can you share a little bit what it was like with her as a leader?
She's awesome. She walks in the room and freaking room lights on fire. It's amazing. I'm really biased, sorry. No, she's, like, when you watch her interviews, like if you watch them on LinkedIn or any of the podcasts and stuff, she is like that in person, really tall. She's a mom, and doesn't sugarcoat anything, and will walk up and tell the company one thing, turn around, go to the board, and say, this is what we're doing, figure it out, and moves on along.
Yeah. Well, so it definitely resonates with your idea of the mission-focused culture coming from a nonprofit background. Can you tell me a little bit of how you saw that during the summer?
Yes, we are, the company is very big about the co-op owners, so the farmers coming in and getting, they sit on boards, and they actually interacted with a number of us a number of times. We went to a number of member-owner farms as intern groups a number of times, so that was really helpful, and so we could sit and actually ask those questions about the farmers and their kids and their families. A number of them have been on their farms for generations. Some of them are first generation farmers, which was super interesting to see, a little different. So being able to actually see that was really cool, and the company, everything all the time is always, hey, are farmers okay? Are they not? Are our co-op owners okay? Are they not? What do we need to do for them to make sure their families are okay and their areas, in the farmland is okay? And what do they need? How's their health care? How's their mental health services? Do they have broadband so their kids can actually, do homework? Those kinds of things. A lot of those came up pretty consistently throughout the summer.
Great. So last question for you. One of the things that's really important to me and my values is a company that respects my family and my time with my family. I know that you're a mom. So could you just share a little bit about how Land O'Lakes thinks about that?
They're very, very in tune with that, actually. Every single person I talk to across the company, not just in supply chain, a number of them have families or are recently married, and the number of times I heard stories about, oh my gosh, and this crazy thing happened that none of us could have anticipated, and I went to my boss and said, this and this just happened. They said, don't even worry about it. We'll put this in place. Go do what you need to do. And over and over and over, I kept hearing that. And then on my team, I actually saw it also. So they're pretty good about it. I told them I needed this whole week off because I was home with my kids, and they said, okay, but you're out of office on, come back the next week. I said, fine.
That's great. And you also get to be here with, your other family, the Carlson family. Yes. Great. Well, those are my last questions for you. But as you know, I'm really interested in the human resource career track. So just wondering if there's anyone else whether second years or in your Land O'Lakes network, who I might be able to speak to about that specifically.
Yes, I have a couple of senior HR people you could talk to who have done a bunch of things in the HR space for the company, as well as some people that actually just accepted full-time offers in the HR space. So you can see kind of both sides, and I can connect you with them via email, and they're wonderful people to talk to.
Great. Well, I will probably start with the ones who just accepted offers. So let's start there, and then I'll maybe reach out when I'm ready for the senior leaders.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Amanda. It meant a lot to be able to talk to you, and so excited. Hope that we can stay in touch.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know if I can help you.
Okay, and I will reach out again just to follow up and make sure that I get the names of those people you mentioned.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks.